How the heck are you guys? I am Fastidious. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a different kind of video. There'll be no intro, no outro, no background music. I'm going to try to stay serious because in this video, I'm discussing pretty serious allegations and kind of theories that are going around about some really bad behavior in the game. Let's get right to it. It is a cheater or a bot who is on top of the ultimate leaderboard. It is this name in Chinese characters with an American flag. I'm just going to call the name, we'll call him 36 because that's his level right now, right? We'll call him guy number 36. It's a very, very suspicious circumstance. This is an incredible amount of points. I believe it does set the record for the most points ever gotten. The previous would have been Sassy, or Sassy's just ahead of it at 595,000. To me, that's almost a whole new level of suspicion that this is less than 2,000 off. I've got a lot of evidence here from a lot of different sources. There's also a lot of things I know behind the scenes that I'm not going to share in this video, but I will say it helps corroborate the theory that this is either a bot or a cheater. Cheater being they have some way of hacking into the game to summon endlessly. It might already look suspicious to you that we have a level 36 account with this many points. Have they even played the game enough to know that they want to summon to this extent, let alone have Lord of Legends, 30 different legendaries, or Commander 3, 10 different A5 legendaries, which certainly it is more. It's pretty remarkable. If you think that's remarkable at level 36, this has been the case since level 14, as I can show you back here. We're going to cover a lot of things now, guys, but you can see this was the case, Commander 3, and then behind my head is Lord of whatever it was called back there. So like I said, no intro. Let's get into it. The final disclaimer, I am not going to accuse any specific party of being responsible for this. I mean, in terms of being transparent, absolutely. People are saying the devs are behind it or the game is behind it or something very nefarious like that. I am not going to be pointing that finger, but I'm also not going to be making any judgment. What I'm going to do in this video is present all the things I have observed, all the information I have, and let you guys make an assessment. I actually have a ton of information and contact and a statement directly from this guy who actually changed his name to Game Liar. You can see who he thinks is responsible. The guy in second place, this is a player out of Russia, a very well-developed account. He set this kind of out of protest, I believe. All the rares, he changed his name to Game Liar. I have a statement from this guy, as well as one of his friends who kind of made the connection and brought the information to me. This person was pretty disappointed not to win. You know, I'm not going to call anyone a sore loser or anything like that, but I do think there is some valid concern there because what the heck is even going on? A level 14 account at one time. Now it's gone to 36 in 2 days. Doing all this, you know, and I will tell you, the only two medals, so this is how you can kind of track progress in the game, ever on this account, we have from August the 9th, which at the time of filming is 17 days ago, when I first kind of learned about this, discovered this on Friday, it was 14 days ago. That was the first medal this account ever got. So before they ever got 30 legendaries of any different type, they had not beaten the campaign. And then they also, on August the 14th, so this was 10 days ago, or 9 days ago when I originally saw this, 12 days ago now. And yeah, sorry, this is a little bit later, but I was doing a lot of thinking and deliberating on if I wanted to cover this and how I wanted to cover this. But if we look over here, you can see, like, assuming that they started playing, immediately started summoning just 5 short days later. I mean, it's hard to imagine the timeline. They already had pulled at least 6 copies of 10 different heroes. It's pretty remarkable. At least six identical copies of 10 different heroes to be able to make them A5. And I commented a lot in this stream, which I'm not going to show you. You can go back. The timestamp's about 30 minutes and 30 seconds. You can see that right behind me here. This is my Hex Pharisee Pulse Party stream. I spent a little bit of time talking about this when it first came to my attention. It's pretty crazy because at this time, they had not yet even gotten this medal. They had not even gotten the Campaign Forerunner medal, and I mentioned that. I'm like, so this guy hasn't even played the game, but they're doing this with all the heroes. So a lot of other suspicious things we need to talk about as well, because they've actually changed out all the heroes that were originally here. They're all now A5 Epic Lords. That wasn't the case. There were some fully promoted heroes on a level 14 account. You can see they only got this campaign medal for beating normal campaign. They haven't even beaten hard campaign or expert campaign yet. That only came yesterday. So today when I went on, this was the first time I saw this new medal, the Campaign Forerunner. It's very suspicious, guys. So let's get into it. I'll just quickly tell you, it's pretty shocking to be level 36, let alone level 14, but 36 over here, they decided, apparently, if we're to assume this is a real person, to invest such a large amount of money and, quite frankly, time. I've done probably, I can say this as a fact, I've done more summons, not on my account, but for people and everything combined than any other human being in the game, I believe. I've been doing pulse parties nearly every single weekend for over a year, right? Summoning takes time. If you don't believe me, go over here to, which we're going to talk about later. This is the biggest pull session ever. This is what has the record for the most points ever. Excuse me. Sassy's 595,000 points. We did that on a charity stream. This is an extremely fast forwarded version where we consistently will skip hundreds of pulls at a time, and it's still 1 hour and 32 minutes, right? This stuff literally physically takes time. So this is a huge investment into time. And as I'm going to get into specifics with you, money for a game you haven't played. To be level 14, let's actually talk about it. I'm coming with receipts, baby. This is from the second stream, the first main stream of my Epic account. You can see the big grind day 1. The first stream is about 3 hours long. The first hour 45, 2 hours was me re-rolling the account. I re-rolled it 6 times looking for a decent start with an Idril. And then this was the big stream. You can see 8 hours and 13 minutes in, I hit level 14. Look at that. Isn't that nice that I found that? 8 hours and 13 minutes in, I hit level 14. So it's not an insignificant amount of gameplay, but I'd say for the average person, if you count my reloading, call that an hour if I was actively playing. And then this 8 hours. In 9 hours, most people don't decide to spend tens of thousands of dollars, which is what this would quite literally equate to, this summation of points. So yeah, without further ado, let's kind of talk about why it is so suspicious, okay? So this guy has been dominating since the get. If we go over here, this was for me like my early afternoon I want to get when I show the total. There we go. This was like my early afternoon on Friday. The banner started, perhaps at that time, the banner had started about 9 or 10 hours earlier. Already 159,000 points on 36's account. Back then, 36 was at level 14. And this was very noteworthy right here. Shout out to Larry Lord Gary, a friend of mine, a friend of the channel, actually the biggest donator for V2 of the website. He is one of the, I'd say, half a dozen people that have DM'd me, explicitly DM'd me, long DMs. You're going to hear a long piece when we do talk about the Russian, who now calls, game cheater, when we go through all of that. But he was one of the people that reached out to me. I know he wouldn't mind me saying that and saying, hey, I don't really care that much about winning, but what the heck's going on? A level 14 is beating me. Granted, he's only 84. It's not like you have to be 100 to beat this, but I've known Larry for a while. He's cared about the game for a while. Yes, he's a big spender, but he plays the game. Level 14, I mean, so what even could this be? If you don't know, the way you increase your level is by expending stamina, right? How do you reach level 14 and have expended enough stamina in the game to know enough about the game to decide that you want to spend what I'm going to break down for you in a minute, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, right? It's pretty insane. People talked about, could it be fraud, right? And this is the cheater example, right? And it's either a bot or a cheater. That's kind of what we think, right? Could it be fraud in that someone's like, I'm going to just spend all this money on the game, and then we're going to refund the purchases if I don't get what I want, or I'll sell the account, or this, that, and the other. No one is selling an account for many, many thousands and thousands, because this is over $10,000 spent for sure. Second, you can't just buy this all at once. This, as I'm going to show you when I'm showing you Sassy, and when I show you the Russian guy who I'm talking to, we'll call him M. And then also his friend who we connected him, the guy who is the game cheater. It takes months of buying everything that isn't a terrible deal and then saving extensively, right? So you can't do this on a whim. You can't be like, I like this Watch of Realms game. I think I'm going to spend $20,000. The only way to do that, guys, would be to go to the diamond shop, which even for a dragon like Sassy, or the Kraken of all dragons of Kraken drags, right? This is such a vile deal. The only way you could do it is to buy 3,000 diamonds. You get 4,000 the first time, and you just have to keep dropping $100 constantly, continuously, over and over and over each time for whatever it equates to. I mean, 300, this is like, not even 40 summons, right? $100 for not even 40 summons, like over and over and over. That's the situation you would have to be with. So it's just unthinkable that could be it. Now I want to show you the thing where it starts looking suspicious. This is what the Hero Showcase looked like. This was the Hero Showcase. The Hero Showcase has since been changed, right? This Hero Showcase has since been changed. Do not show my account. Nothing interesting there. The Hero Showcase has since been changed to show a bunch of ungeared, unleveled, well, I guess max level at 50, but, unbuilt Epic Lords at A5. It's been changed to be that. That's not what it was. As you can see, we had an Iax A2, a Virna A2, a Comet A5, a Valeria A4, a Twin Fiend A3, and a Torador A2. And this was before the ancient summoning had begun, right? We haven't seen this person on the leaderboard before, so you would think all this summoning came this weekend. They already had Commander 3. They already had 10 heroes A5 or higher, right? in this presentation here, there's only Comet. We can account for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? This is, wait, am I counting right? Is that a 4 or is that a 3? Yeah, 15, and then another 3. 18 total legendaries besides Comet pulled. And those are not contributing to this commander number 3, right? None of those guys are A5. You can only imagine what the gallery in the roster looks like with how many dupes there would be that aren't even the 10 that are already at A5. So that's already 60 legendaries pulled right there. For perspective here, in this thing with Sassy, we pulled like 68 or 69 legendaries. So it's really not adding up. I haven't seen this person on the leaderboard before. If you have, send me the evidence. It's very, very, very suspicious. Let's click through it. You also notice they're all max promotion. It is literally impossible to have farmed enough star up mats, promotion mats, fodder to have 6, at the minimum, 6-star maxed out legendary heroes, because you couldn't be level 14. The amount of stamina you'd have to expend, you'd have to use, you'd have to exhaust to achieve all of this would bring your level higher than 14, because your level raises. It's in direct correlation with how much stamina you use. You could say, and apparently this is a thing for spenders, when you start a new account in the shop, they sell, like somewhere over here in the shop, they sell this thing that you can get from the Awakening shop over, where is it? Where's that little book thing? Do I not even have it? Oh, does it cycle in and out? Maybe it's only every other week. It's like the book, and it max promotes something all the way. It's here sometimes. Maybe it just reset this week. I don't know about these Awakening spendery things, but you guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's like an open book. And essentially, you can use that book and you can buy it with Legendary Awakening tokens. You can buy it once a week, and apparently it cycles 1 week on, 1 week off. Maybe it cycles with the Legendary skill up or something. I'm not sure. But that book, it brings you max level, max promotion, right? But it's only from the Awakening shop, and certainly this account would have many Awakening coins. From the Awakening shop, you can only do 1 a week, and apparently it cycles 1 week on, 1 week off, or something like that. For spenders, please let me know in the comments exactly how that works. I can't imagine they're just selling 6, but maybe they are. So we'll give them that. But when I originally saw this, if you go and we go to this timestamp, that's what I'm saying is so fishy. I'm like, they literally couldn't have farmed all this. Now they have some gear, including legendary gear. So this is like, you're not buying stuff from the shop with legendary gear at level 14. So it's very confusing what's going on here. Everyone is max skilled. Look at this. Or a lot of these heroes. Virna, max skilled, and as a tier of Twilight. Perhaps you could buy Flawless Meteorite in the shop, but this person's clearly not playing the game because they don't level their gear. They just skill up their heroes max promo. I don't think I have to convince you more that this is extremely fishy, right? Extremely fishy. Here's a comment. This is terrible gear. This makes sense. But he is max level. And now he had enough mithril to plus 10, another tier of Twilight. Like, what's going on? Certainly these could not have been farmed. By the time you get to AMR, whatever it is, 13 plus or 14, whenever you unlock the ability to do mythic things, you've put so much stamina and time into the game. You would be so far past. You guys can go back to my epic challenge, but when I finally beat, whether it was 13 or 14, it was at least a week of heavy playing into the game. It's level 13 when you can finally get 2 to 4 of these at a time. So even if they reach just the lowest level, 2 to 4 at a time to get the luck to get multiple tier of Twilights, we're talking, so many thousands and thousands and thousands of stamina sessions, right? They would be above level 30 without a doubt, if not more like 40 or 50 or something. So it's very, very, very bizarre. The final thing I will show you as we click through, I just want to show you all these heroes. Here, this one, again, didn't even put the random gear on, but again, max skilled, all the way max skilled. This is a big natural gate in the game. Spenders can't just buy constant max skill ups. Each one of these heroes requires 10 skill crystals, not counting dust. You get your first 6 on a legendary for free. Occasionally there's a legendary like a Morrigan or something that requires less skill ups, but your typical legendary requires 16 skill ups, right? It's 4 on each, and they have 4 skills. And in this case, you can see that would already accounted. This one's not max, but if we look at Virna, Comet, and Ajax, right, that's already 30 legendary skill crystals accounted for on a level 14 account. You can't, to my knowledge, you can't just buy all that. Here, it looks like just Tordor got dusted up. But again, in another mythic artifact, I guess you can buy Flawless Meteorite or something like that. That'd be my only presumption. But yeah, so this was stinking to high heaven. I'm going to try to go quickly here, but again, I do want to be thorough and lay out the evidence. Let me read you through the information from M, who actually has done this placement. Well, I guess he said I could share this, so I guess I can share the name from this guy up here, Merton. And he won an ultimate leaderboard, right? And he said this is the most points ever. It was the most points, I think, to that point. Sassy, obviously, him and I beat it. I'm not going to take credit. He beat it. I pulled for him. But he breaks down, and we'll actually skip to the end there, how much this took for him to do it. He said, on my banner, I was the highest total in numbers so far, and I was hoarding for 3 months before that. And look at this guy's numbers. So this was 3 months of hoarding, and he told me he was buying every deal that wasn't absolutely horrible. Many people would say all the deals are horrible. You mean every deal that wasn't like a total ripoff, buying the diamonds for $30 or whatever it is. Or buying the 3,000 diamonds for $100, you know? So basically any deal he thought was at all acceptable, he was buying and saving all of it for 3 months. And then he pulled everything and he got 458,000. This is like that's how you do it, right? You have to be, I've said this about Sassy a million times. You have to be a kraken, in Sassy's case, a dragon, and you have to save like crazy. You have to be restrained, you have to be patient, and you have to spend so much money. We are talking so much money, right? So if you look here, this is that. So this guy, I think we can all agree, right? This level 14 account wasn't saving for 3 months. They were just logging in apparently and not playing, never spending stamina, just buying. Is it possible? Sure. Is it much more likely this is a bot or a cheater or hacker? It's obviously the latter, right? Obviously. Okay, let me read the statement now. So I got a whole intro from M. I told you M's thoughts at the end. I'm not going to read exactly what he said. Basically, this is a friend of his who was very upset. This is Game Liar. And these are the words. These days, I'm very depressed and frustrated. The game I loved has betrayed me. And by the way, Game Liar was a moderator on the Discord and a content creator. So this isn't good. A big moderator in the Russian community and a content creator for Watch of Realms. So essentially feeling betrayed by the game they loved. Let me find the quote here. I've been playing Watch of Realms for a year. During that time, I became a moderator of the official Discord community. I represent the Russian community of players. I have my own channel about the game on YouTube and enjoying the game. And at one point, I think it would be nice to take first place in the Oracle's trial. So he's been waiting, saving, whatever. At one point, he decided to do it. He prepared. He said, I prepared, checked my bank account, and started buying rubies. He means diamonds. I bought absolutely every stock, even the ones I thought were crazy. That's 25 bluestones for $100. Yeah, he's saying he's buying the terrible deal. I said, like M said he wouldn't buy, Sassy doesn't buy. He was buying the worst deal, right? $100 for what comes out to like 25 low 30s summons, right? It's the 3,000 diamonds for $100. I don't know what the conversion is. Probably for him, it's maybe, I don't know how it works with W gold in Russia versus US dollars and stuff. But you can see he's saying, I'm even buying the crazy stuff. He said, in 2 days, I spent just over $6,700 US dollars and about 140,000 rubies, diamonds that he had already saved up. I bought absolutely every stock, even the ones that were crazy, so on and so on. Over 3,500 attempts were made. That's how many summons he did. And he got 200,000 points. You can see here he got 221,000 points. Pretty crazy. At the same time, an unknown account with the name in Chinese, and he doesn't say this, but and an American flag, which of course we have Chinese Americans, but it's an interesting thing to have an American flag and write your name in Chinese lettering. At the same time, a Chinese name in Chinese makes 500,000 points. Now we're approaching 600,000. Again, I mean, we'll see if these numbers change by the end of the day. There's still 7 hours and 31 minutes left in the tournament. It's suspicious to me that these numbers are just less than 2,000 away from Sassy. It almost makes me think if like a hacker or a bot or whoever programmed the bot was like, let's make sure it doesn't go past the highest ever. So let's make it second. And then they went just to because let's just show you again. That's 593,000. And Sassy's huge session, he sent me the screenshot, was 595.7 thousand. So this was 593. Let me pull it up. This was 593.6. So it's almost exactly 2,000. Totally could be a coincidence, but how bizarre is that, huh? Super, super bizarre. Let me find where I was. Makes 500,000 points. I can't even imagine the amount of time it takes to get that many points. I can. Granted, it was a charity stream. I had many guests, but that was an 8.5 hour stream. 8.5 hours. I stream pulling that stuff for Sassy. Even if I went as fast as possible, I think we're still talking like 2 hours physically to do that. I've done it. I am the person in the world that pulled that many points, right? It is a huge amount of time. Probably it equates to the amount of time of getting to level 14 in the game, honestly. And you can get to level 14 a lot faster than the 9 hours I did it. The whole time I was goofing around. We had Destined on. We had people in chat. I was doing that kind of stuff. I was being a content creator. I wasn't going for max efficiency. There's a reason I was behind War Guides for so long and still am, right? I'm catching up to him, but there's a reason, right? I was especially that first day, I was taking my sweet time. You get into level 14 very quickly, in like under 5 hours. So let us continue. I can't even imagine the amount of time it takes. At the same time, the account already had the achievement. And that is true. From the first time anyone noticed this, which was even earlier than me, I think it was pre 100,000 points, this account already had the Commander 3 or whatever, at least 10 heroes A5 or higher, right? which is crazy. That's at least 60 units. That is just crazy. He already had the achievement 10 A5 heroes. At this point, that just sounds really weird at level 14 and continues to gain momentum. I questioned the developer. So he basically said he's asking to the devs, and he has a connection because he's an official Discord moderator, but they deny their involvement. I think a lot of players like me would like to see real proof that this is not a bot. Someone's not getting free diamonds. It's not a friend of a programmer, designer, director. It's very easy to do that. He's saying, I can provide all the proof of my payments. I have bank transfers then it's real money. Can this guy provide the same proof? This looks like fraud. Then I have to ask you for a full refund. Otherwise, it's a felony. And that's kind of where he ends it. That's the end of the quote. And it does kind of feel like fraud because like this is the first connection I've had with GameLiar. I don't even know the real name. The name was changed and M didn't tell me. But like if we go to Larry, like Larry's a great guy. And like, yeah, he's the kind of guy where I know he wouldn't care about getting first or not first. And you could see he still would have lost to GameLiar and yay, QAQ and so on. But this is disturbing to him. Like I think the way when his messages to me, I'm not going to read his messages, but he took it very well. But he's like, you have to look into this. And I've had at least 3 other people DM me. I've had people talk about it in my chats. I've had people talk in the comments. I think I've kind of laid it out. The only thing I think a lot of people are waiting for me to get to, sorry for saving to the end, is going to be money, right? So let's talk about Sassy over here. This is still, I guess, the number one. We can like close out of this to see if this guy passed Sassy. Now he's holding strong at exactly 2,000 points away from Sassy's record. If we go here to Sassy, so we put up this many points. Here's my video, and definitely go watch these polls. This was really fun when we did it because we had so many guests. That's a beautiful picture of Sassy right on the right there. And you can see we didn't pull any of these diamonds, but we did pull every single one of these divines and every single one of these rares. It was, I think in the end, we actually got another like 8 divines through random stuff throughout. I think there was we got awards from the thing. I think he maybe bought one more pack. I believe we did about 295 divines. We did, I think in the end after this as well, we were just tickling 6,000 rares. We pulled all of it. It took me forever. We pulled all of it. And we didn't actually, the goal was to pull until A6 Praetus. We were so lucky for him. We did it fairly quickly, but we pulled 1,600 Ancients, which I believe is the most Ancients ever pulled. Pulled 1,600 Ancients. So how long was Sassy spending, saving and spending, right? I believe it was 6 or 7 months. It was between 5 and 7 months. He would occasionally, if there was a banner he liked, he'd pull 200 Ancients or something like that, right? Because he's the dragon. But to save this amount, it took everything. I mean, he's told me at best estimation, he's averaging $4 per Ancients, and I think he would be comfortably saying, I think we know it's probably slightly higher than that. Whether it's $4 an Ancient, $5 an Ancient, we pulled 1,600, and he had to do it over months. You don't get opportunities to buy 1,600 Ancients. That's either 6,400 or it's gonna be 8,000, right? Somewhere in that range. Between $7,000 and $10,000 spent on Ancients. That is not counting everything else that has been spent. These obviously are not free to play rares. All in all, Sassy would like to leave it at this. The amount of money he spent on the game total equates to like a decent car, like a pretty nice car. And this was at least half of that, you know, when we pulled it. So we're talking like at least $20,000. And that was with Sassy's he's got 2 jobs. One of his jobs is as a day trader. He's good with finance. I mean, you can question his decisions, but he has the financial flexibility to spend on what he likes. He knows what he thinks are good or bad deals. He wouldn't get the absolute terrible stuff. And he still was very aggressive on spending. And it took many months. In comes this guy, right? And it's just, what is even going on? On top of all the diamonds saved by GameLiar, when he wailed and tried to do it all in one weekend, he spent $6,700, not counting his other purchases for Ancients and Divines along the way. So we're talking all those diamonds. We're talking the $6,700 for more diamonds that he purchased, right? And then all the other money he spent. So we're talking at least $10,000 to get this, at least. And that's when you do it in like a not efficient way. Maybe $20,000 to do this efficiently. So more realistically, if someone actually just ripped this in a weekend and just from diamonds, you're talking minimum $30,000. It feels unthinkable that someone that doesn't even know the game, they are level 36 now, but please do remember they started back here. Oh my God, where is it? At level 14. So like, I mean, what's going on here? We can really leave it there, guys. Like I said, no intro, no outro. I just want to lay out all the facts. Let me know if you like this guy in the video. I tried to be more straightforward, more casual. I think this is a serious nature. I will conclude by saying I will not speculate as to who is responsible. Is it some jaded ex-player that's really good and like hacked the game and wanted to screw over a bunch of people, maybe people they knew, or maybe just good, honest, nice people like Larry and I'm sure game cheaters, stuff like this. Who knows? Could it just be a bot inserted by the devs? That's what some people are saying. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not going to make a call on either of that. I am going to make a call. I would be completely shocked if there's not something nefarious going on here. Not saying sinister by the developers or not sinister by the developers. There's no way that Sky 36 is real to me. If you are real and you are watching this, please do get in touch with me. I think I've got the platform that could let you clear things up. And if you did this all in earnest, I'd love an explanation. Swapping out all the geared, max-leveled legendary heroes with multiple awakenings for a bunch of lords feels like a weird choice. Not building any of your heroes that you get feels like a weird choice. Doing all this starting at level 14 feels like an extremely suspicious choice. I'm going to leave it there, guys. I think there's something bad. I really hope we get a great resolution. If you made it to the end of the video, please let me know. I know this was a long one, but I hope you understand why. Let me know in the comments what your theories are, and I will submit this video to the developers because I want a response. I'm going out of my way not to point a finger at them and not to assume something bad, but then I need to know what's going on. I think we all deserve to know what's going on. At the end of the day, of course, is there some gambling, gotcha, rolling addiction going on with many people here? I think it's without a doubt, but that doesn't mean they can't all afford it. They can't choose to spend their money however they like, and that any of them deserve to be ripped off like this because Game Liar used the word fraud. Whatever it is, it's extremely suspect. Extremely suspect. If your mother's interested in potential fraud, please share it with her. I've been Fastidious. I'll see you real soon. Bye.